Shalom. First thing and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and the apostles, a great millstone and rule well. Blessings and salutations to the whole elect. Northern the gospel broad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is just a quick lesson through the spirit. I think this is the elder brother Pashai, if I'm not mistaken. Sometimes I get those brothers mixed up. There's so many brothers in this thing. So Slaki if I butcher the brother's name. But he did a video, what about the Holy Spirit / spiritual power, you vagabond Jew, you. Okay, because you're going to understand about the vagabond. They was basically men of vain repetition that did things in the sight of Israel to woo them or to disenchant them. Well, I wouldn't say, disenchantment, but they done things oftentimes to woo other Israelites into believing they was just these magnificent prophets, or they was just like these men of high order and pristine. But overall, they were just a bunch of carnal jakes. And he's doing a response to this guy, the truth about the 2/3 breakdown, which was a horrible breakdown in my opinion. But outside of that, the brother was, and it's really a kind of response to this brother too, kind of piggybacking on this, because I noticed about these other groups that they don't really go into spiritual power like that. And I understand I kind of get it now, because what I'm realizing throughout the years I've been in this thing, a lot of men want their own, they want their glory, they want self-glory. You see a lot of men in this thing, they want to come in their own stead, their own power, their own might, and they don't want to give credence to Yahweh Ba'ashem and Yahweh Shai, because ultimately these men, they don't follow Yahweh Shai. Okay, all that Yahweh Ba'ashem and Yahweh Shai, it means nothing. It's just empty and swell words to a lot of these men. So he's responding to this guy, Alazar, because he went into the breakdown of the 2/3, which is totally different from ours. But he said, what about the Holy Spirit and spiritual power? Well, the reason why they don't speak on spiritual power is because these are carnal men. Okay, and the brother actually addressed these points in the video. But I've always noticed, and I've said it over years, that UPK, they don't go into it. Sakari, they don't really speak on it as much. IUIC definitely don't go into the spiritual power. Zabak, none of it. We're the only ones that push this. And I'm starting to realize it's because everybody is backing a lot. Okay? When Yahweh Shai told the men of the Lord to tarry here and wait ye in Jerusalem until the Holy Spirit come upon them, he was talking to the disciples, soon to be apostles. He wasn't talking to zealots. I mean, you had zealots among them that converted, but he wasn't talking to offshoot factions like zealots. He wasn't speaking to vagabond Jews. He wasn't speaking to the Sanhedrin. He wasn't speaking to wicked scribes and Pharisees, wicked zealots. He wasn't speaking to them, but he was speaking to his men. So when you pay attention to everybody that's back today, like, hey, Sakari, they fall in a lot. Okay, even though Hassad and Deacon Hassad and this guy, what's his guy's name? Hassad and Hakah, Deacon Hakah and Hassad, even though they're not part of this organization no more, they come in the same spirit. Okay, you have oftentimes within groups of zealots, you had men that broke off and formed their own factions and came up with their own doctrine, but they still broke off from these guys, so they come in the same spirit. Okay, then you got the wicked scribes and Pharisees, okay, mainly those that was of the wicked Sadducees, which IUIC is a mixture of both the Sadducees and the Pharisees, because believe it or not, they both was zealous for the law, but one was more of higher court. And you had the Pharisees, which just thought the law, you know what I'm saying? And they was traditional with the doctrine, but they believed that in some cases converts can be led into their following. And then you had the wicked Sadducees that just wasn't fucking with you if you wasn't in high order. So it's all coming back again. And then you got the men of the Lord, the ones that's considered unlearned, the apostles, prophets, and teachers. And those are who Yahweh Shai dealt with. Okay, so when you look at everybody else, we're coming back in our lots. And it's a clear indication that the men of the great millstone and the affiliates that follow the doctrine and sincerity and truth are coming in instead of the apostles, teachers, prophets. It makes sense. The men that was totally disregarded and spat at and looked at as bums, and nobody really wanted to have anything to do with them because They just seem uncomely to the consensus of Israelites, okay? And we come in that spirit. So when they ain't speaking about spiritual power, it makes sense. Because the Lord ain't revealing it to them. They don't believe in it. Even though they may read it, they don't believe they're going to have these type of powers because it seems too far-fetched. Okay? It's a saying that goes, to the feeble mind, some things are just out of reach that may seem like out of a shroud of reality. But I always say that the truth is stranger than fiction. I've witnessed lower level miracles in this faith. I've seen things. Just brothers being healed. That's a miracle. I've seen things turn around from brothers. I've seen things turn around in my life, brothers' lives. We've cast spirits off brothers in the name of Yahushua. And I so happens to partake in one of those particular ordeals, man. And the Lord showed us. So it's not far-fetched to believe that the men of the Lord are going to raise the dead. That takes a high level of faith to believe in something that a world has totally disannulled. So it doesn't surprise me that these men don't believe in spiritual power. They are carnal. They believe in their own guns. They believe in their own might. But what do the scriptures say about that? Let's check it out. All right. So let's go over here to the book of Psalms 44. And let's start at verses 1. Okay, because this whole chapter is good, but I'm going to read all the way down to maybe verse 10, 11, somewhere around there. So it says here, we have heard with our ears, O power, our fathers have told us what work thou didst in those days in the times of old, how thou didst drive out the heathen with thy hand and plantedst them, how thou didst afflict the people and cast them out. For they got not in the land in possession by their own sword, neither did their own arm save them, but thy right hand and thy arm and the light of thy countenance, because thou hast had a favor unto them. So when we was delivered out of Egypt during the time of the Exodus, it wasn't because of our might. Okay? It wasn't because of our might. Even the Egyptians they said, look, we got to put these people in servitude, because if not, they're going to continue to multiply and become more mightier than we. And Jake was multiplying like roaches in Egypt, man. And yet they still put us in captivity and beat the hell out of us, man. Same thing today. Yeah, we have might. We're stronger than Esau. We're far greater than Esau as a nation. But our might alone is not going to deliver us out of this captivity. I mean, look at during the time of the Gullah Wars. Okay, look at during the time of the cavalry. And you had the splits among Gad and Reuben. They had to cause division because, I mean, clearly we were stronger than them. But overall, the Lord is the one that put us in this captivity. And he's the one that's going to get us out of it. So certain camps push weapons, sticks, the carnal method. Esau comes in, I'm going to put 12 in the back of his head. You don't know that. And trusting in your weapon is not going to get you the kingdom of heaven, because we don't have the might to box with this man on a carnal level. We just don't have it. Now, if you line us all up and we all go head up, every Edomite versus every Jake, yeah, we're going to smash him because we're just greater people overall. I don't care how much jiu-jitsu or MMA they study, but that's not the point. Okay, many great men have been overcame in the scriptures. Look at King David for an example. King David, the greatest warrior that ever lived, was even put to flight by his enemies. So what does that say? Even Yahushua had to flee at times when they wanted to throw him head first off the mountain. What did? He had to tell him he had to dodge out of there. So it ain't of our own might. Okay, it's of Yahushua that gets us through. But it says, thou art my king, O power. Command deliverance for Jacob. It says deliverance for Jacob. Through thee we will push down our enemies, and through thy name we will tread them under that rise up against us. So what is the point? Through the name of Yahushua. Okay, it ain't up to us. Same thing during the time of the Maccabees. What happened? Before we went to battle, we did a fast. Okay, we prayed unto the Lord, even though we were outnumbered. Hey, when we prayed to Yahushua and we gave sacrifices unto his name, the Lord delivered us. And that's what Jake don't understand. They're taken away from the power of the Yahushua. Okay, the scriptures say the feeble among them should be like David. You're going to have brothers in here in this truth that never threw a punch, that don't know anything about the art of fighting or survival, but the Most High is going to deal with men like that and raise them up. It's easy to judge on the outward appearance, say, yeah, this guy, he's overweight. He ain't gonna be able to run 3 miles to escape these troops. The Lord gonna put the spirit on that brother to get out of Dodge. And then the angel may just come and teleport him. Okay, prime example, when the angel came to Habakkuk, and he told him, he said, well, look, basically roughly paraphrasing it, he was like, well, I'm going to take you to Babylon because your brother Daniel, Daniel was almost famished. He was to the point he needed to feed him. As Habakkuk, I believe he was cooking. And then the angel came to him. He was like, well, you're going to have to go to Babylon. He like, look, I don't even know it. I ain't never even seen Babylon. That ain't even, I don't know where that's at. Angel took him by the hair and teleported him to Babylon into the lion's den, and he gave him the food. So just stuff like that, man. You got to expect miracles like that to happen. You could be totally loaded up. You could have a full artillery in your crib, and you try to use that. The Most High can make every gun or every bullet you got jam up in that chamber, because it's not about that. But it says, through thee we will push down our enemies. Through thy name we will tread them under that rise up against us. For I will not trust in my bow, neither shall my sword save me. So it ain't of our might. But when you have men that's carnal, they think it's all about them. And oftentimes the Lord leave them until their own destruction. This is why the Lord said I should choose their delusions, because if you got a guy that think he can take on, he think he's King Kong, then the Most High, I'm like, okay, well, go ahead and do what you got to do. Let me see what you can do. See if you can put this army to flight. Because Esau ain't worried about Jake with guns. They ain't worried about that. Esau has that. Esau has a military. Okay, Esau has he has drone strikes. He ain't finna waste a sweat going up and down and head up with you, Jakes, man. And he already know you gonna get carnal. So he's not worried about the carnal Israelite groups, because he already know how to take them. Now you playing right into his hand. They see that, man. See, the ones they're talking about is the ones that they're worried about is the men that's not going to get carnal with them. Now, we're not saying that we won't defend ourselves and things like that, because, the Lord is going to put the spirit on us to do what we have to do. But ultimately, that's not our message, to take down this system. We ain't going to take down shit. Yahweh Shai going to take it down. Okay, we just going to teach the word and prophesy and watch the Lord work. That's our MO. Okay, we ain't planning on rolling on no government agents. We ain't going to roll on no military. We ain't doing none of that. Okay, if you want to do that, then you go ahead and do that. Don't include us in that. All right, because, hey, go ahead and you get chopped down. But it says here, but the Most High, but thou hast saved us from our enemies, and thou hast put them to shame that hated us. So in the power we boast all day long and praise thy name forever. Okay, so that's the point. It's Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai that's going to do the heavy lifting, not your black ass. So it makes sense as to why other Israelites are not speaking on the spiritual power, because in their spirit, they don't think they're going to get it anyway. Oh, that's too about, yeah, that's fairy tale. That's symbolic. Like you had one group called One Body, which I call them One Body and Satan, or Nobody in Yahweh Shai, because Yahweh Shai has no dealings with them. But they was basically teaching that the miracles of the Bible was witchcraft. Oh, that was symbolic, or that was witchcraft, brother. We ain't going to be doing no miracles. Well, hey, you ain't going to be doing no miracles. But I guarantee you, without a reasonable doubt, when all hell break loose, you're going to revert to calling on that name. And the Lord said they should seek me early, but they should not find me. All right. Next precept. Let's go from here to the book of Psalms 33. And I'm going to start at verses 16. It says here, there is no king saved by the multitude of a host. A mighty man is not delivered by much strength. So oftentimes, you may see brothers training in arts and jujitsu. That's just because that's just in our spirit. That's just what we do. But the Lord can use those skills and enhance them. He can put them to great use. But overall, just because you are a golden glove in boxing, or you are fourth dan in Kempo karate, or a little Jeet Kune Do or some jujitsu, doesn't mean you're going to have any favor with the Lord. Oftentimes brothers are training and we in the spirit because that's what we like to do. But just because you know a certain art, that don't mean that the Lord is dealing with you. You got plenty of Jakes and other groups that train in guerrilla warfare, CQC, gun range. And that don't mean that the Lord is dealing with these dudes, man. Now, you may be able to whoop a Edomite, or you may be able to whoop some Jakes because, it's muscle memory and you have experience. But when it really comes to go to the spiritual war, you ain't that shit ain't going to do nothing, man. Okay, it ain't going to make a difference when you up here and you trying to fight a whole army. Now, the Most High can use that skill to put the flight in the army, but overall, you have to be in alignment with his will. And if you're not in alignment with the will of the Heavenly Father, then, I mean, really, you're just selling yourself short. This is why a lot of times when I hear, you know, I'm going to the wilderness or we got to be in shape. I mean, you should be in shape. I'm not going to say you shouldn't, because health is just everything. I mean, health is a good thing. The scriptures say, even though exercise profits a little, it still profits. So ultimately, you want to be in shape because you may have to run a mile. You may have to go 2 days without eating. There's always a benefit to that. But overall, when somebody's saying, well, you need to be this way so you can make it out of this, I ain't listening to that. Because you can be that way and your ass still get broken down or broken in half. Or you need to be in shape. Yeah, you should be in shape. But, I mean, it just ain't in every brother's spirit to work out. Some brothers have health issues, man. Is the Lord not going to deliver them too? Because they, you know, they kind of obese. Not to discourage brothers from working out, because in my opinion, I think every brother should be active, or at least trying to be active, you know, doing something. But you can't solely depend on that to get you out of a jam, every jam. All right. But it says there's no king saved by the multitude of a host, and a mighty man is not delivered by much strength. And a horse is a vain thing for safety, which horse represents power. In this case, horses represents like vehicles. You know, some people believe in the vehicles that like Esau got those drone. What do you call those? I call them, you know, those big drone guns when they spit the rounds, like the 50 caliber rounds, and they spit like 1,000 rounds. They're like chain guns almost. Esau has those mounted on back of trucks, you know, all types of shit. Esau got military chain. He have fucking weapons that can melt you from within in, from inside out, but it's still a vain thing. Okay. And it says a horse is a vain thing for safety. Neither shall he deliver. It says, neither shall he deliver any by his great strength. Okay. So it's not about your strength. Yeah, it's good to have strength, but overall, that strength ain't going to deliver you if you ain't right. But behold, the eyes of Yahweh is upon them that fear him, and upon them that hope in his mercy. So we hoping for mercy. We hoping for spiritual power. Okay. We hoping to get delivered. We hoping to be looked over when all hell break loose. We hoping to get away from all the chaos, man. Or if we're going to be in the midst of it, at least give us a fighting chance to put to flight these demons, because these people going to come, man. To deliver their soul from death and to keep them alive in famine. And our soul waited for Yahweh. He is our help and our shield. Okay. For our hearts should rejoice in him, because we have trusted in his holy name. So let thy mercy, O Yahweh, be upon us, according as we hope in thee. You see, that's the faith of the elect right there. So this is the spirit we should be coming in, because we understand we don't have no power. It tells you that in Isaiah the 41st chapter. It says, "O thy worm Jacob." A worm is a defenseless creature. The only defense a worm has is to dig itself in the earth. And even then, it don't have defense against moles and ground moles and hawks and particular fowls of heaven, because they can dig right in and get that worm out of his habitat. So we're considered to worms because we have no power. I don't give a damn how many targets you hit from 400 meters away. That don't make you a sharpshooter in the eyes of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay. Another precept, and I end it. Romans 8, and I'm going to start at verses 1. It says, there is therefore now no condemnation to them which are in Yahweh Shai, who walk not after the flesh, but after the spirit. So we walk after the spirit, and we mind things of the spirit. Yeah, you know, sometimes you get carnal. Your mind thinks to react carnally because they're just a normal emotional human reaction. Flesh. Sometimes the flesh will take over. Somebody bump you in public, first thing you want to do is knock his head off his shoulders, because that's just a natural reaction, an emotional reaction. But overall, we're going to pray to the Lord to fight our battles, man. You know, just like in competition, before anything or basketball game or any fight, shit, hey, if I have to get into any scuffle with any nigga out here or any Edomite, hey, I'm sending prayers up to the Lord first. I pray the Lord to put the spirit on me to destroy this nigga, man. That's the first thing I'm doing. I'm praying, because that guy may physically overcome you. Cause you got some dudes that can throw, man. I mean, I've seen niggas throw, and they not half bad, man. And especially if you ain't on point and your mind ain't right, you get hurt. So first thing we do, hey, I'm praying to the Lord. Hey, every time before I go out with brothers, I pray to the Lord, like, look, keep us safe. But if I have to throw with a nigga, I'll pray that you give me the spirit to overcome this motherfucker and put him to flight. I always have that mindset, because you just never know. He can have a gun on him, which most people carry guns today anyway. But if you're not thinking on that wavelength, then you fuck around and get into some stuff, and then you get your ass handed to you. Now what? You're gonna be a laughing stock, man. And most of you jakes can't deal with public humility. That's a distasteful thing, being publicly humiliated. That's a hard pill to swallow. So, hey, stay spiritual until you can't. It says, for the law of the spirit of life in Yahushua HaMashiach hath made me free from the law of sin and death. But for what the law cannot do, in that it was weak through the flesh, Yahweh sending his own son in the likeness of sinful flesh, and for sin condemned sin in the flesh, because he walked perfectly. All right, that the righteous of the law may be fulfilled in us, who walk not after the flesh, but after the spirit. But this is the point I wanted to make. Verse 5, it says, for they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh. And this is why them guys preach with fitted hats on. This is why they want to get a following. This is why they want the ways of the world. They want all the followers. They want the people to look up to them. But it looks foolish at the end of the day, because it's just like, dude, you're doing too much. Make it simple. Jake overly complicate things, and then when they can't keep up the gimmick, then they become bitter. And then this is when they fade to black. All because they were doing too much, man. Okay, you got a nigga that's 150 pounds and his bench may be 250 max, but instead he want to bench 400. And he may get it up once or twice, but he wants to keep doing it until he dislocates his shoulder, and now he's mad at everybody. And this is what we're seeing going on in Israel. Okay, you got a lot of unspiritual juggernauts that's trying to battering walls and knock things down, and totally they're going to run into a wall that they can't go through, and they're going to crumble, you know? But it reads here, it says, for to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritual minded is life and peace. Okay, so having a spiritual mindset, knowing things can get physical, but still staying spiritual. And I'm not saying let somebody spit in your face or push you around. No, but what we're saying is just have a mindset of dealing in the spirit. Put the Lord first. Ask him to direct your steps and to walk your path, you know, and for you to walk in his will, you know, praying. But because the carnal mind is emptied me against the Most High, for it is not subjected to the law of God, neither indeed can be. So then they that are in the flesh cannot please the Most High. But ye are not in the flesh, but in the spirit. And if so be that the spirit of Yahweh dwell in you. Okay. But now if any man have not the spirit of Yahweh Shai, he is none of his. And we're clearly seeing that. It's going to be a lot of guys that's going to get totally exposed when all hell break loose, you know, for the doctrines and, you know, not pushing the MOTB. A lot of guys going to have to answer a lot of questions to these congregations, because a lot of these people that follow these groups are sincere. And some of them just want to be a part of something. But us, we going to continue to serve the Lord and put him first, because we know that we're at a disadvantage in this place. You know, so with that, all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. Lord's will, you were edified into the next lesson. Shalom.